Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope all of you are doing good. Now, we have started with chapter 11th, Force and Pressure. This is a physics chapter. The part 1 that I have uploaded was not that clear, so I have attached that part again. Please go through that video again and clear your concepts. Also, those who haven't gone through that part, I will explain all the important points of that part in this video too. So, we have started with force and pressure. You have studied in class 7th about motion. Motion is change in position of an object with time. Now, what is force? What caused motion? That is force. Force is push or pull to any object. As you can see, the pictures that is displayed on the screen, the part A of the pictures, a goalkeeper is saving the goal, means he is applying force in form of pull. He is stopping the ball, means he is applying the force in form of pull. In part B, you can see the hockey player is kicking the ball, means she is applying force in form of push. In part C, you can see a fielder is stopping the ball, means he is applying force in form of pull. So force is push or a pull to an object. As you can see in the definition, force is a push or a main line of the definition is force is a push or a pull to an object. Here we can see, thus we can say that motion imparted to object was due to action of force. Force come into play, we have already seen. For force to come into action or force to come into play, there has to be two objects. Force will come into action only when there are two objects. Like you can see here, there is a car and a man. But if the man will not touch the car, then the car will not move. So for force to come into play, there has to be two or more objects. And the second condition is there must be interaction between the two objects. That is, when the man will touch the car, will push the car, then the car will move. So force is a push or a pull applied to an object. And also for force to come into play, there has to be two bodies. Also, the force will come into play when there is interaction between two bodies. So here we have studied force is due to interaction between the bodies. The next example we have seen was two girls pushing each other. They were applying force. And the next image we have seen, the girls were pulling each other. And here we have seen the man was applying force in this direction and cow was applying force in this direction. So the force was acting in opposite direction. Then a very important concept that we have seen was, if there is an object and if there are two forces acting on an object, that is, two men are applying force, this is force of man A, and when there are two forces acting on an object, then the force of man A is acting in this direction and force of man B is acting in this direction, then resultant force will add and object will obviously move if the force is sufficient for the object to move. Then in second image we have seen man 1 was applying force in this direction and man 2 was applying force in this direction. So the resultant force will subtract and will be calculated by the difference between the two forces of the men. Also, I have explained to you in the game tug of war, two teams was applying force in different directions. one team was applying force in this direction and another team was applying force in this direction. Then if the forces are equal, then they will cancel each other and there will be no movement. But if the force of any team is greater, then movement will be in that direction. So it is the magnitude of the force which decide the direction of motion. You can see here the strength of the force is usually expressed by magnitude. As I have explained, force unit of force is Newton, and the magnitude is maybe 10, 20, 30. How much extent, what is the value of force, that is magnitude of force. Also, you have seen, does it mean the net force on an object is zero if the two forces acting on it are in opposite direction and equally? I have already explained, if the two forces are acting in opposite direction, the net force on that object will be zero provided the two forces are equal. Means if 10 Newton is applied in this direction and 10 Newton is applied in this direction, then the object will not move and net force will be zero. As in this tug of war game, if they will apply equal force, then there will be no movement. But if force of any team is greater, then movement will be in that direction. Suppose force of this team is greater, then movement will be in this direction. Next concept, also a very important highlight of this chapter, is in general more than one force may be acting on an object. Force can be 2 or greater than 2. However, the effect on an object is due to net force acting on it. This was a very good example. Here, two men were applying force in one direction, A, B. So the resultant will be the sum of two forces. That is, if one force is 10 Newton, other force is 20 Newton, then it will be 30 Newton force in this direction. So, in general, more than one force may be acting. More than one means 2, 3, greater than 1. However, the effect of object is due to net force on it. So what is the net applied force on the object will give us the value of total force acting on an object. Now, we will start with the topic, a force can change the state of the motion. This is very important concept. You all know this concept, but we have to visualize it now. Now, let's see an activity and let's clear this concept with this activity. Now, take a rubber ball and place it on a level surface such as tabletop. I will take an example. Suppose this is your table and you have put a rubber ball on it. Now gently push the ball. If you apply the pressure, the ball will move. We have now gently push the ball along the level surface. Does the ball begin to move? Yes, it will move because we have applied pressure. Next, push the ball again while it is still moving. Here is the ball. If we'll push it again, then the next question is there any change in the speed? Yes, the speed will increase because the force that was acting on the ball is now increased by applying more and more pressure. Next, does it increase or decrease? Yes, the speed will increase because speed is distance by time. You have already studied and the distance covered is greater, so the speed will increase. Also, the force applied is greater now, because the initial force and for initial force that we have applied and the next force that we have applied, A and B are in same direction, so resultant force will add. As I've already explained that to you, if two forces are acting in same direction, then resultant will add. Taking the next example, next, place your palm in front of the moving ball. Now it is saying you have already placed the ball on the table. Now you have to place your palm in front of the moving. The ball is moving. It is moving. When we'll place our palm, ball is moving. Then remove your palm as soon as moving ball touches it. When the ball is coming and when it touches your palm, just remove that palm. Then, does your palm apply force on the ball? Yes, it will apply force on the ball. The ball was moving towards your arm, your hand, but when it touched your palm, then speed of the ball will decrease. So let's go through this. Does your palm apply force on the ball? Yes, it applies force on the ball. What happens to the speed of the ball now? The speed will decrease. Does it increase or decrease? It will decrease. I hope I'm clear. So our topic is force can change the state of motion. Let us understand it again. If the ball was on a table and it was at rest, when we applied force, then it from state of rest it came to state of motion. And when it was moving, when the ball was moving, when we applied pressure, then from the state of motion it came to state of rest. So force can change the state of motion. That is, it can change from rest. An object in rest can come into motion, and an object in motion can come into rest position, provided force is applied to it. You can see the example. I hope this is clear. Now let us visualize one more example. Now you might recall similar situation. For example, while kicking a penalty kick in football, suppose there is a football and here is the goal and here is the goalkeeper and this is you. So while taking a penalty kick in football, player applies force on the ball. He will apply force on the ball. Then before being hit, the ball was at rest. Now the ball was placed at a position. When you apply force, then the ball will change its state of rest and it will come in state of motion. Before being hit, the ball was at rest, its speed was 0. The applied force make the ball move towards the goal. Then the force with which you have applied to the ball will make the ball move from state of rest to state of motion. The applied force make the ball move towards the goal. Suppose the goalkeeper dives or jumps to save the goal. Now here is the goalkeeper. Suppose he just kicked that ball and he applied pressure in form of pull and he just hold that ball. Then what will happen? From the state of motion, the ball will come to state of rest. So by his action, goalkeeper tries to apply force on the moving ball. The force applied by him can stop or deflect the ball, means it can decrease the speed of the ball or completely bring into state of rest. So if the goalkeeper succeed in stopping the ball, its speed decreases to 0. I hope I'm clear. So force can change the force can change the state of motion. From state of rest, then object can come into state of motion. From state of motion, then object can come to state of rest, provided force is applied to it, and the magnitude of force will decide whether it will come from state of rest to state of motion. Also, these observations suggest that force applied on an object may change the speed. Means if it is moving with faster speed, then it can come to state of rest. If it is rest, then it can come into motion and speed can increase. Also, you have done this in your childhood. You have seen children competing with one another in rubber tire or ring by pushing it. Now how the speed is increasing, you can see the boy is applying in force in this direction, so motion is in this direction, and if he applies more and more force in this direction, then all the resultant forces A, B, C will add, and the resultant force will add in, and the rubber tire will move in forward direction, will keep on moving in forward direction. The greater the force you apply, that forces will add, and the tire will keep on moving in forward directions. So this was all about today's lecture. So what we have done throughout our chapter, throughout this chapter, we have, students, please go through this, go through till page number 131, read it again and again. So the important points of this lecture as well as previous lecture was the definition of force. Force is the push or a pull to an object. Then force will come into play when there are two objects and there must be interaction between the two objects. And if there are two or more forces acting on an object, if there are two more forces acting on an object, the net effect will be addition if they are in same direction and subtraction when they are in opposite direction. And you have come, so it is the magnitude of the force that will decide the direction of motion. And today we have studied a force can change the state of the motion. That is, it can bring a body from rest to motion, or an object that was in complete motion to rest, or make its speed decrease. So this was all about today's lecture. Please go through lecture part 1 and part 2 again and read till page number 131. Thank you.